Hi, in this video you are going to discuss regarding the difference between array and array list. Last video you discussed the difference between array list and linked list. So the comparisons are like size of the structure. Array contains a data structure of fixed length. The size of the array cannot be changed once the object has been defined. It is static. So once we define the array, we cannot change the size. But in array list, the size is dynamic. Like we can also, the elements or items can be added at runtime and modified. Then the size of the object or size of the array list will be changed accordingly. So same thing, resizing property, like array list is static, size is remains same at the beginning and at the last, but it is dynamic array list, so it can be changed based on the addition and deletion. Insertion and storage of the elements. The assignment operator is put for array. The assignment operator is put to use for the storage of the elements, whereas the add attribute it is utilized for insertion of the elements in the array list. So actually array list can also be created at the time of creation. Also we can use the assignment or insertion and of the storage of the element, but still we also have the add attribute or add method by which we can also bring the insertion. Nature of the data types. For array, it can store primitive data types as well as the object. So it can store all type of object or all type of primitive data type, but for array list it only can store the object, not primitive. Okay. For generics, actually array does not support generics, not compatible with that. For array list it is supported the generic syntax. Multi-dimensional nature, arrays are multi-dimensional, so we can create a like 2-dimensional array or 3-dimensional array, whatever we need, but in case of array list only single dimensional. For storage in contiguous memory location, an array is a native programming component where in the elements are contained in adjacent memory location, so it is stored in the contiguous location. But for array list belongs to a class belonging to the Java collection framework, as the objects are incapable of being contained in contiguous location. Actually it can store in chunk, like let's say first 5 element, let's say the array contains 10 elements. Maybe it may happen the it first 5 element in a adjacent or contiguous location, and then next to, then next to, like that it does. But in case of array it is entirely all the element we store in the same memory address or same memory location. Okay. Determination of the length. So it is by it is has for arrays we have one method called length. So using dot length you can get the length. For array list it is size. Memory space consume. For arrays take more memory for the storage of specified object or elements. For array list it is taking less memory or storing objects or elements, as it use some case it is using the pointer, or in some cases it is using some kind of optimized technique that is not present in array. As I mentioned, for contiguous memory it also always take a more memory. And for iteration, like iteration of array is faster than array list, because actually, and why we can say that, like all the elements present, all the main method that being invoked from array list, ultimately it actually called the native method of array. Let's say get, set, all those indexing, so all those things. So ultimately the array is the main, all the methods present in the array are invoked. So because of that the array list is slower, because ultimately it needs to call the methods of array to iterate and all internally. Okay. So basically that's all. So you can check by doing normal coding, like how array and array list works. It is very simple, so I have not given any kind of Java coding example here. So maybe in future if you need it, so you can comment in the video. Okay, thank you.